I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with justice and justice for all.
On behalf of the board, I welcome everybody here this evening, and Mr. Latchmore, could you take a roll call attendance, please?
Trustee Pelkey.
Here.
Trustee Menard.
Here.
Trustee Southwick.
Here.
Trustee Arno.
Present.
Mayor LaBounty.
Here. No one has signed up from the public to address the board. I have, and everybody should have in their packets, minutes of the December 4th, 2023 regular meeting. There's no discussion on changes or alterations to that. I need a motion to accept the minutes as printed.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes as printed.
Second.
All those in favor of accepting the minutes as printed from December 4th, 2023, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Bills, Mr. Letourneau, we have anything different?
We have one addition this evening, is business card in the amount of $188.90. $29.56 of that is expenses for electric training school, and $159.34 is items for the parade toys.
Okay. Once again, gentlemen, if there's no discussion on these bills, then I need a motion to accept the bills as printed.
I make a motion, we pay the bills as printed. Second.
All those in favor of paying the bills as printed, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The ayes have it, bills will be paid. Correspondence, Mr. Latchmore?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple things for correspondence. We were supposed to have an individual from the U.S. Small Business Administration here this evening to give a short presentation. Due to all the rain and the inclement weather, she was unable to make it, but I did take a few highlights as far as what her presentation was going to be. So it's the U.S. Small Business Administration, and it's regarding the incident of the severe storms and flooding that occurred here in Clinton County on July 9th through the 10th of 2023. And what they wanted to let everybody know is that they do have a disaster location for a lone outreach center here in Clinton County. It's at the Ellenburg Town Hall, located at 13 Brandy Brook Road in Ellenburg Center. They are open Wednesday, December 6th from 11 to 6 p.m. and then Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, which is going to be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and they're closed on Sunday. And they will be permanently closed on Friday, December 22nd at 4 p.m. And what this is pertaining to is the SBA mission is driven team stands ready to help New York businesses and residences impacted by severe storms and flooding. Said administration, they're committed to providing federal disaster loans swiftly and efficiently with customers centrally approached to help business and the communities recover and rebuild. The deadline for the residents, renters, businesses, and nonprofit organizations with physical damage to apply at the SBA Disaster Center is the last day will be January 30th, 2024. The deadline for business and nonprofit organizations with economic loss to apply for the disaster assistance will be September 3rd of 2024. So if there's any residents, renters, business, or nonprofit organizations within the village of Rouses Point that were damaged by the severe storms and flooding of July 9th through July 10th of 2023, I would ask you to please reach out to the U.S. Small Business Administration, and they will be happy to assist you and guide you for any of your financial losses. I received some correspondence from the Rouses Point 4th of July Committee. It says the committee has begun to make plans for this year's celebration. American Legion Post 912 will again sponsor this event. The celebration will start Friday the 28th of June and will run through the evening of Sunday, June 30th. We are asking permission to use the Rouses Point Civic Center for craft/vendor sales. We would like to have access to the interior of the Civic Center from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Friday, June 28th, and then 11 a.m. until dusk on June 29th and 30th. We attempted to do a full outdoor craft vendor sale, and this was not as successful due to the craft vendors' inability to adapt to the outside elements. This year, we hope to make the celebration one to remember, raising the bar and making it even a better celebration. As in the past, we will be featuring bounce houses, games, food booths, vendors, and wonderful kids' days, showcasing local vendors and community groups, as well as having entertainment, a beer, wine tent, and a giant street parade, and finishing with a finale of fireworks at dusk. This is our 63rd celebration, and we look forward to another successful weekend in Rouses Point. Please let us know what you will need from us in order to manage this access. Additionally, let us know what responsibilities we should uphold, garbage, security, etc., and what support the village workers could bring during this time. Working together to support to ensure all aspects of the facility are treated with the utmost respect and support, and it's signed by the chair of the 4th of July committee, including Matt Favreau. So that's the first request. The second request is to the Mayor LaBounty and the village trustees. The committee has begun its plans to this year's celebration. The American Legion Post 912 will be sponsoring this event again. The celebration, once again, will be the 28th of June through Sunday the 30th. We are asking, in New York State regulations allow, we would like to request permission to have local support food and drinking vendors should any local business be interested. As in the past, they will be responsible for all licensing, insurance, and have other regulation guidelines required and that you can provide and request of them. This year, we hope to make this celebration, once again, one of the best ones, and it's their 63rd year. The last correspondence that I have from the Rouses Point 4th of July is last year was a great success. We were able to renew our age of old tradition of celebrating Independence Day in a big way. We were able to boost community connections, showcasing local businesses and their continued support. This year, we hope to make the celebration one to remember, raising the bar, making it even better celebration than in the past, featuring bouncy houses, vendor booths, and a wonderful kids' day. In the past, our community has been fortunate that the village has generously made donations to help host such an amazing event. This year, we are going to bring back the decades-old tradition of the 4th of July event in the North Country in a big way. Our goal is making the weekend a premier summer community event that will immerse our community. We hope you will consider a donation of at least $5,000 to help continue this annual tradition. In addition, we respectfully request that the village again cover the expenses, if equivalent to last year's quote, of additional portable toilets needed and the support of the village-wide event. If you wish to contribute or have any questions, please contact Karen, and we have her contact information. So those are the three requests from the Rouses Point 4th of July committee.
And what exactly does this board have to vote on to give
So
permission?
what we would need the board to vote on, the first one would be to the board to give them permission to access and use the Civic Center for the craft vendor sale, and
Okay.
also to use the grounds.
Why don't we make a motion for that?
I make a motion that we allow the 4th of July Celebration Committee to use the Civic Center and its grounds for their festivities on June 28th and 30th, 2024.
I'll second.
All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Next one, Mr.
The
Letchmore.
next one would be for the village board to approve them to have food and alcoholic beverages, meaning wine and beer, being served on village premise, with the stipulation that they would provide all the licensing and insurance and based upon the New York State regulation and guidelines required. So you're just giving them permission to have the alcoholic, the beer and wine vendors.
I'll make a motion that this board allows for the period of time for the 4th of July celebration that the vendors allowed to sell beer or wine within the boundaries of Village of Rouses Point. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Last but not least, Mr. Lattimore?
So the last one is, they were looking for the village to consider making a donation of at least $5,000, like they have in the past, and also to provide additional cost for portable toilets as needed, and for the village employees to help out during the 4th of July activities.
If there's no discussion, I need a motion on that, gentlemen.
Oh,
Oh,
I know in past years, they normally talk about that at budget time.
okay, so
We can-
you wanna table it?
We
for
can
the
table
budget?
it till budget time.
Okay, no, we'll table that last one until budget time, and then we'll go over it with the treasurer, myself, yourself, and we'll go from there, Mr. Lattimore. Okay,
thank you, and that's all that I have, Mr. Mayor.
okay, thank you. Under myself, I have, resolution 2322, the electric capital equipment purchase. And I'll just read this briefly. Whereas the Board of Trustees is of the opinion that 2023 GMC Sierra 1500 extended cab pickup should be purchased for the sum of no more than $44,613. The cost of the purchase will be financed from the electric utility truck reserve of $29,850 and $14,763 from the current electric fund appropriations. Does anybody want to discuss that? If not, then I need a motion to pay this, and then we'll have a roll call vote.
I make a motion that we purchase the GMC Sierra.
Second?
Mr. Lattimore, a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Pelkey,
Aye.
trustee Menard,
Aye.
trustee Southwick,
Aye.
trustee Arno,
Aye.
Mayor LaBounty.
Aye. The ayes have it, so the appropriation has been made. And lastly, what I have for myself, I'm very pleased to announce to all the residents that finally we've been awarded, after many years of applying for the grants for our water plant, we've been awarded from Kathy Hochul, the governor, $5 million. We also have a federal grant of $2 million. So combining that, we have $7 million towards our new water plant. Originally, we had varying prices of it because of COVID and the cost of material going up. It was around $12 million, what we were gonna need. Discussing this with the trustees on my right, trustee Pelkey and trustee Menard, we're of the opinion that because of the supply and demand situation, and we're gonna verify what we're saying tonight, that the cost of some of this project should go down. So we're looking at around $12 million, but I believe it'll be cheaper than that, and having the $7 million is a good stretch for us. Our water plant will be paid sometime in, or our water tower, excuse me, will be paid sometime in 2023 or 25, and therefore we will be debt-free on that, and then we can consider floating a bond for this water plant. Our water plant is over 60 years old, and we've needed an upgrade for quite a while, and I think this is a good shot in the arm for the village of Rouses Point, and I think we gotta look very strong and very hard at this to move forward and make our village upgraded. Anyone else have any comments in that direction?
Just to reiterate, our water plant is very old, probably most of the equipment is early 70s. And although the crew that works there does an excellent job of maintaining it and keeping everything going, we do need a new water plant.
And before we got awarded this grant, we were given a form about 6-8 months ago that denying our request, and we weren't even close. We were 19% off of where we would be considered to even have a grant of this type. And to have this come 8 months later is a good shot in the arm for this village once again. And I think that this board will seriously consider moving forward with this water plant, because it's very valuable and it's well needed for this village and to move forward in the modern world. Anyone else have any comments?
Will we be getting new estimates on paper for the total cost?
Yeah, that's what we were gonna do, trustee Southwick, we're gonna try to get the exact, as close as we can, the cost of what we need, and obviously the $7 million, we'll minus that, and then we'll see what we can do for a floating of a bond, and then see how it's gonna impact the taxpayers, and then go from there. But like I said, having $7 million is a good shot in the arm at this point, since we've been denied for the last, what'd you say, trustee Pelkey, 6-7 years?
Oh, yeah.
At least that, yeah.
At least that.
At least that, so, I mean, this is a little bit of sunshine at the end of the rainbow here so I think this is a good thing for us.
When we started this project, before COVID, the project did come in around 8 million. And with COVID, because of supply and demand and, you know, we couldn't get anyone to work, they were talking, the estimate was up to 12 million. So hopefully now, we're back to normal,
Closer to the 8 than we are to the 12.
yes. And hopefully, I think that we're gonna be in very good shape.
No, and it's like trustee Menard said, we're very fortunate to have a good crew in the water department that keeps our facility up and running, but they're working with archaic parts and archaic machinery, and this is something that we valuable need to have replaced for our village. Anyone else have anything to say? That's all I have.
No, Mr. Mayor, how about Chapman Street?
Excuse me?
Chapman Street. Chapman Street.
I can't.
Chapman
You
Street.
wanted to mention
Oh,
Chapman
yes,
Street.
thank you very much. I gotta turn up my hearing aid. Well, for all the residents on Chapman Street, I guess they won't be upset with the mayor or the board anymore, because the poles are finally down on Chapman Street. I've had some emails from different people, and they've said that they went through 4 or 5 mayors and they can't get those poles down. So at least for a day, I'm a hero for one person that got the poles down, so I won't have tomatoes thrown at me for one day anyway. But I'm very pleased that, seriously, that these poles are down. It completes our village with a very scenic view of our village with the trees and no poles. I think it makes our village very enhanced, and it makes it a nice place to visit and a nice place to live. I don't know if anybody else has any comments in that direction, but
Mike Southwick. Thank Mr. Southwick. Mike.
I can't hear what he's saying.
Thank Mike Southwick.
Oh, yes, Mr. Southwick. Mr. Southwick is, Mr. Michael Southwick is, and I have had at least 4 conversations in regards to this project. And Mr. Southwick assured me that he would get this done before the end of this year. Mr. Southwick is a man of his word. He's held up his end of the bargain. He's taken my phone calls every time I've called him as the mayor, and we've had some very good discussions, and I'm very pleased with how Mr. Southwick has treated me as the mayor in this village and the village board. So going forward, my hat goes off to Mr. Southwick once again. Thank you. And with that being said, trustee Arnold, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think it's a very good project that they did, and it looks very nice up there now.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything you want to bring up, Mr. Trustee?
I think over to the library, I think we ought to put a dumpster over there or something, because they have a lot of garbage, and especially a lot of cardboard and stuff. Some kind of a dumpster or whatever to put over there, or a recyclable bin or something. I think we ought to look into that. I took a trailer load out of there, me and Steve, that lives on the corner of, what's his name, Brian?
Lambert.
Steve?
Lambert.
Lambert, yeah. Steve Lambert and I loaded up my trailer full of cardboard one day, we took out of there. And they have a lot in there. Every week they have 8-10 boxes anyhow, at least, sometimes more.
Okay, we'll take a look at that.
So,
Anything else?
no, that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Trustee Menard?
Just one thing tonight, I would like to commend the fire department on the parade of lights, it was very nice. I think most of the village appreciated it, I know our street did, everybody was standing outside waiting for them. But I also wanna commend the fire department on, you know, throughout the year, everybody that works, I mean, they need to be commended, I mean, I know they don't hear this enough, but thank you for everything that you guys do, you know, all the emergency calls, all the, you know, the ambulance calls, everything, you guys do a good job, and that's good to hear at this time of year, it's good to hear every time, any time of year, but thank you very much, that's all I have.
And following up on that, trustee Bernard, I think trustee Pelkey alluded to it a couple meetings ago. The volunteerism that we get within the village is desperately needed, and it's underappreciated sometimes, but I can tell you that this board understands what the fire department does for this village. I myself personally do, and we have a couple people that work for the fire department on this board, so I'll echo the same thing that trustee Menard said. It's a very valuable service they provide, and it's volunteer, and we appreciate it. With that being said, trustee Pelkey, do you have anything?
I have one other thing on the fire department. They had their kids' Christmas party, and they had 3 times the amount of people they had last year. They had over 150 people. Mr. Pelkey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had rides right till 3 o'clock, usually we're done by 1:30.
Very
It's
good.
a beautiful
The
day.
kids really enjoyed it,
Well,
and the parents enjoyed it.
getting out from the COVID underneath that situation and just
Yeah.
enjoying the festivities
They
again,
enjoyed the hot chocolate, they enjoyed, you know, the cookies, we had apples for them.
getting back to normal.
Yeah, little gift bags, and they sat with Santa Claus, and it was really a good day.
Very good.
It was a busy day.
Do you have anything else, trustee?
Yeah, I just wanna comment on the run, the Speedo run that they had down on Montgomery Street. I mean, there was, I would say at least 25, maybe 30 people that were participated, and it was a good time. It was nice to see them out running. It was a little cold, but it was good. Back to the Parade of Lights. Mike LeBlanc is the one that coordinated this whole thing, and he needs to be, you know, we need to thank him for doing this, because it's one of them jobs that no one else wants to really do. And I was talking to one of the participants, Mr. Roberts, that has the last truck in the light parade, and they're trying to coordinate with people with different communities to pick a different day and a second day. Because on Saturday night, we had, Dannemora had theirs, and Grand Isle had their parade of lights. So all our Vermont people didn't come over here because we went to Grand Isle. And a lot of, like, Ellenberg sent 2 trucks, one to Rouses Point, one to Dannemora. So we would have more participants if we coordinated the parade of lights. And just going through the route of the parade of lights, to see the smile on the people's faces and the kids, they just enjoy it so much. I mean, it was a little short this year, but that was the reason why. But overall, I think
Still very nice.
I think it went very well.
Oh, yeah.
And special thanks to Shannon and Vicky for doing all the intersections to let us through, to keep us safe. I mean, they had the ambulance out there and made sure that none of us got ran over, and people were safe, and they did a nice job. So,
Yep.
Very good. Anything else?
that's all I have.
Trustee Southwick, anything you wanna?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Code Officer Cooper, anything you wanna report?
We're all pretty well done, everything's pretty well tied up. I have a few new backsliding, I'm kind of surprised. We do have a few applications in, but this time of the year, it's kind of amazing. There's gonna be some action this year, I think, in the village. Some pretty good stuff looking for me.
Okay. Nobody. Without further ado, then I need a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Thank you, gentlemen.